know me for covering, if they know me at all, know me for covering the Calgary Flames. And so going to look at this from a Calgary Flames perspective. And I think a lot of the things that I just said about how it makes sense for the Seattle Kraken would be in play for the Flames. Calgary is looking for someone who can be a game breaker. And if you think that there is still that in that kid, then you go out and basically get him for free and try to get that. And so that was a lot of the reaction that you would see from Flames fans yesterday. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. I think overall that is certainly a path that you kind of look at and it's like, yeah, you know what? Like this is the type of move rebuilding teams make. I do just for a second want to, I guess, play Calgary Flames apologist maybe, or kind of explain why I don't think it's the worst thing in the world that the Flames didn't get in on this. I do think that there is a quick jump when you are looking at a rebuilding team, whenever there is anything available. It's all right, yeah, you know what, pick that up, young, go, get. Like, whenever you have something like this that comes up, it's like, hey, you know what, this is young player, high pedigree, underutilized, we can take advantage of that. That's the exact thing you're looking for in a rebuild. And it's worked from a Flames standpoint. Sharon Govich has paid off immensely and has been just a brilliant find for the Calgary Flames. It worked in moments with Kuzmenko. It's certainly not now, but last year it worked anyway. So, like, you have seen at least some form of this workout before. But Toxic is asking a very good question, and one that I think is the ultimate reason why I don't know if the Flames pulled the trigger. Why do you think he would be an upgrade over on the wing, though, besides the fourth line for the Flames? And that was going to be my exact point. I just, you look at where the Flames are at right now. They need center ice help. And this whole, I've said this before on the radio, this whole conversation does seem insane. Because objectively, the Flames, on paper, not an awesome hockey team. One that is lacking in, checks notes, talent. And so going out and acquiring talent seems like the smart move. And like, I would probably, if I was looking to win a hockey game tomorrow, I would probably take Seattle's roster over the Flames, even though one is doing better than the other. When you look at high-end talent, Seattle at least has a little bit more of that than Calgary does. Kind of going through my head. Maybe it's not as cut and dry as I think. But still, just roll with me on this. We assume the Flames need more talent. And so when it comes to acquiring talent, to say, no, they're good, seems counterintuitive, right? But look at what the Flames do have on the wing right now. Huberdeau and Pospisil on the top line, with Coleman Coronado on a second, Sharon Govich Pelche on a third, and then Lomberg Duer on the fourth. Lomberg Duer, or whoever, on the fourth line, that's not going anywhere, and Kakko isn't going to be a fourth liner. If you are trading for him to be a fourth liner, then don't, because you have Klapka and you have 100 guys. You can, fourth liners, with all due respect to the contributions of the fourth line, which the Flames have had a ton of this year, you can get fourth liner on the waiver wire fucking tomorrow if you want to. So, cool. So, let's look at the top three. Huberdeau is actually playing probably the best hockey he's played since he's come to the Calgary Flames, and also very expensive for a very long time, not going anywhere. Marty Pospisil, if you wanted to make the case that Kakko has top-line potential, then you can maybe make a case to put Kakko above Pospisil and bump him down, and now he is the fourth-line guy. But I think we have seen enough from Pospisil to see that he is a better player than that, and he deserves more of a look than that. So I think that spot there, that line, taken care of. Second line, Coleman and Coronado. Now, again, you can have an interesting conversation about, okay, well, Coleman's not part of the long-term future, so trade him away. Boom, Kaapo Kakko is right there, and off you go. And honestly, if the Rangers were in that sort of an acquisition type of a mode, that trade may have made some sense, honestly. If you were going to go Kakko, like Coleman to the Rangers for Kakko, I think you would probably, given where Kakko is at right now, and given the A, desperate situation the Rangers are in, B, the winning pedigree of Blake Coleman coming off of a 30-goal season last year, don't look at the stats this year, I think that you probably ask the Rangers to give you a little bit more in that. And so then the Rangers, instead of like giving up more, they get a little bit, so like maybe there is a case to be made, but if you're going to keep Coleman on this roster, you're not bumping him down any, so that line covered. And then Sharon Govich Peltier, both guys part of the future. Probably one more than the other at this point with Sharon Govich and Peltier, but both are guys that you want to get a look at. And so when you look at the top 9 for the Flames, or even just like the whole thing, there isn't one spot where you are putting Kaapo Kakko right now that it makes complete sense. And honestly, the way things have gone with him, I would much rather give an extended look to Pelche and see what he has. Give an extended look to Coronado. Give the extended look to Pospisil and continue to see what you have in these kids moving forward. I would even rather see what Honzek has if someone gets injured. And like if you were to trade Blake Coleman tomorrow, I would rather put Honzek in that spot than Kakko at this point. I would just rather see what he has. There is still absolutely a world where this kid turns into one of the premier wingers in the National Hockey League, but that window is closing very, very quickly, and the only reason we're holding on to that is what we saw from him in the draft process, and I just, from what we have seen at the NHL level, I would much rather take a shot from a Flame standpoint on any number of kids you have in your system than rolling with that dude right now. And the last part of it is, and it's something that was talked about on 960 earlier this week. Again, to kind of tie this whole thing together, vibes are pretty good in Calgary right now. And we can talk about, again, the long-term sustainability of what's going on in Calgary and all of those things. Yes, but vibes are good. And so I don't know if I want to be messing with that right now and taking away opportunities just because a guy was drafted second overall 4 years ago. I feel like, given the tough situation he was in, he's probably going to Seattle with excitement. But we have seen sometimes people come to Calgary and don't necessarily love the idea of coming to Calgary. And going from Broadway to here seems like a bit of a lifestyle adjustment, I will say. And so I don't know if I'm the Flames, if I want to risk screwing up what I have going on in that locker room right now, if just for the chance that this kid who has peaked at 18 goals and 22 assists in 82 games 2 years ago might turn into something awesome. I think right now what you are rolling with from a Flames standpoint is totally fine. And so, yes, for a rebuilding team to pass up on a chance on picking up a kid who's a former top 3 pick does seem insane. But the more you look at it, the more I think it makes complete sense for the Calgary Flames to stand pat.